The Suez Crisis of 1956, also known as the Tripartite Invasion of Egypt, was a pivotal event in Middle Eastern and global history. It was precipitated by a complex interplay of political, military, and economic motivations primarily involving the United Kingdom, France, and Israel. The root cause of the crisis was the nationalization of the Suez Canal by Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser on July 26, 1956. The canal, previously controlled by the Suez Canal Company, with significant British and French investments, was a crucial maritime route for oil shipments and global trade. Nasser's move was partly in response to the withdrawal of American and British funding for the Aswan High Dam project, seen by Nasser as a means to assert Egyptian sovereignty and economic independence. United Kingdom and France viewed the nationalization as a direct threat to their economic interests and global influence. For the United Kingdom, the canal was a vital link to its colonial holdings in Asia and Africa, while France was keen on curbing Nasser's support for the Algerian independence movement, which threatened French colonial rule in Algeria. Israel, on the other hand, saw an opportunity to weaken an adversary who had imposed a blockade on Israeli shipping through the Straits of Tiran. The three nations secretly conspired to launch a military intervention. On October 29, 1956, Israel invaded Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. Subsequently, Britain and France issued an ultimatum calling for a ceasefire, which predictably was rejected by Egypt. This provided a pretext for aerial bombardments followed by amphibious assaults by British and French forces. The response from the international community was swift and overwhelmingly negative. The United States, led by President Dwight D. Eisenhower, opposed the invasion, fearing it would drive Arab nations towards the Soviet sphere during the peak of the Cold War. The Soviet Union, under Nikita Khrushchev, also vehemently condemned the invasion and threatened military action in support of Egypt. The United Nations, through concerted efforts, facilitated a ceasefire and established the United Nations Emergency Force, UNEF, to supervise the withdrawal of invading forces. The crisis marked a significant decline in British and French colonial power and highlighted the United States and Soviet Union as the two dominant superpowers. For Egypt and much of the Arab world, Nasser emerged as a hero, significantly bolstering his vision of Pan-Arabism. The Suez Crisis left lasting impacts on Middle Eastern geopolitics, symbolizing the end of old colonial influences and the beginning of a new era driven by superpower tensions. It set a precedent for international intervention through the United Nations and reshaped the policies and strategies of countries involved, influencing global political dynamics for decades to come.